What if I told you that you could get jacked and get shredded with just 4 different exercises that you can do with just your own body weight? Well, today we're going to talk about these 4 exercises: the push-up, pull-up, pistol squat, and hanging leg raise. And these 4 exercises are my favorite movements with just my own body weight. And you can get absolutely jacked and shredded with just these 4 movements with consistency and progressive overload. And of course, eating healthy, eating high protein plays a big role as well. But quick disclaimer, I'm not saying these are the only 4 exercises that I do. I actually have workout programs with a lot of other different type of movements. You can get access to that by clicking the link down below and scheduling a free call with me where we can talk about my program, see if it's a right fit for you. But in this video, I just wanted to keep it really simple and show you 4 of my favorite bodyweight movements that you can pretty much do anywhere. But let's jump straight into the video and start with exercise number 1, the push-up. So the push-up is one of my favorite exercises on planet Earth. And the reason why is you can do it anywhere. And I like exercises that I can do anywhere. I love those type of exercises because there's no excuses not to get them done. And when I travel, I can still exercise, which I love. However, there's a lot to do in the push-up. So let's first talk about how to do the perfect push-up. So step 1, get in a plank position and have your shoulders stacked over your wrist. Then what you want to do is squeeze your glutes slightly and also engage your quads. After that, slightly tuck in your core and squeeze it. And then what you want to do is, instead of having your back like this, you want to push through your shoulder blades just like this. You're basically protracting your scapula. And once you get in this position right here, you're going to lower down and explode back up. And when you're lowering down, really control it on the way down and explode back up. What I don't want you to do is just fall down to the floor like this. That's not going to do a whole lot. So instead, control it on the way down, explode back up. And when you're doing this exercise, you want to keep your elbows tucked into the side of your body. It doesn't need to be touching the side of your body, but don't be flaring out your elbows. So don't do this. Instead, keep your elbows nice and tight, just like that. So that right there is the normal push-up. However, there are many different type of push-ups you can do. But let's start with the basics and let's talk about how to progress to being able to do your first push-up if you can't do it yet. So the easiest way to do a push-up if you can't do a normal one yet is find a surface like a couch, a desk, something that's elevated so you can elevate your hands. So you would set up just like a normal push-up, activate your legs, your core, push through your shoulder blades, and then lower down and come back up. And since I'm elevating my hands, it makes it a little bit easier. But once you can do at least 10 perfect reps of this, you can move on to the next exercise, which is going to be knee push-ups. So for a knee push-up, you want to get in this position right here. Same thing, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, lower down, come back up. But once you can do at least 10 knee push-ups like this, you should be able to do your first full push-up. And once you can do at least 10 good push-ups, you can start trying new variations, like the wide grip push-up or the diamond push-up. You can also even elevate your feet, which would be a decline push-up, the opposite of an incline push-up that I showed you earlier, which will make it a little bit more challenging. And once you get really good at push-ups, you can start trying clap push-ups, where you're exploding up, clapping, and coming back down. Or you can go into archer push-ups, which is like a assisted single arm push-up, just like this. And I'm just showing you a couple push-up variations. There's a bunch of push-up variations out there. I just don't want to make this video super long. I just wanted to show you a couple different options so you can keep progressing, because you don't want to stick to the same exercise over and over again. You want to make sure you're progressing and getting stronger and testing your limits. So when it comes to push-ups, make sure you're pushing yourself and trying new variations to level up. But that's exercise 1. Let's move on to exercise 2. Okay, I am going to move my punching bag out of the way so I can show you guys exercise 2. So let's talk exercise 2, which is going to be the pull-up, this right here. If you want to build an aesthetic body that has a good V-taper, strong arms, then the pull-up is king. It's the best exercise you can do for bigger biceps, bigger lat muscles. It's amazing. However, it is very challenging and a lot of people can't do a pull-up. If you can already do a pull-up, then that means you're pretty strong already. And I'll show you some difficult variations you can progress to. But for most of you guys watching this video, I assume you can't do a pull-up yet. So I'm gonna show you some beginner variations to try to progress yourself up to being able to do your first pull-up. So for my complete beginners out there, option 1 is just put your hands up and then pull your elbows down and think about squeezing your lat muscles, which is this right here. So your arms are straight and you're pulling down and then back up. That is for my complete beginners. This right here, really squeeze down, come back up. This is gonna help you build that mind muscle connection in your lat muscles. This right here is a body weight row, and it's a great way to help you progress into doing pull-ups. But if you don't have bars like this at home, then what you can do instead is do dumbbell bent over rows. I'll pop it up on the screen, but this is a good replacement. But if you do have these bars, I definitely want you to go with this option. Now the next variation you can try is band assisted pull-ups. This is actually my favorite method for teaching people how to do their first pull-up. And if you go to a gym, you'll actually find pull-up assisted machines that you can put your knee on, but don't use those. The band is much better for teaching you how to do the first pull-up. So first thing first, you loop it around the bar, and then what you would do, I'll show you this way. You would put your foot on the band, and don't worry about the band snapping. If it's a good band, it won't snap, I promise you. But get both feet on the band, get your stance with your hands, and I actually forgot to even tell you guys, what I want you to do is I don't want your hands completely shoulder width. I want them a little bit wider. I don't want them super wide. That's a wide grip pull-up, which we're just doing the standard pull-up right now. So to start off, you can put your hands shoulder width apart and then slightly come out a few inches, and then that's a good grip. And I sometimes prefer to have my thumbs like this instead of gripping it like this, but you can choose what works best for you. But once you get in a good position, you're on the band, you would pull up and then control yourself on the way down. Pull up, control yourself on the way down. And the nice thing about using resistance bands, let's say you try a band, but it's still not good enough, you still can't do a pull-up yet, you can try a stronger band to help pull yourself up even more. And then eventually you would want to progress to a very light band that's barely assisting you. And what I'll do is actually link my favorite pull-up bands in the description of this post, so check that out after the post. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. But now for my people out there who can already do a pull-up, let me show you some awesome pull-up variations to level up your game. Option number 1 is a wide grip pull-up. You'd go very wide, pull up, back down. And this is actually going to be a little bit more challenging because the wider the grip, the less bicep activation you're going to get and the more back activation you're going to get. So if you're really trying to blow up your lats, a wide grip option is very beneficial. It's just going to be a little bit harder because you don't have your biceps really helping pull you up. Another way you can do pull-ups is a chin-up. Chin-ups are great for really activating the biceps. You still get lat engagement as well, but it's great for hitting that bicep peak. So if you want bigger biceps, I recommend trying a chin-up. And for the chin-up, you can have your hands shoulder width apart. So right here, then you'd flip the grip into an underhand grip, and then you pull yourself up, then back down. And when you're trying to build muscle with the pull-up, you want to make sure you're controlling yourself on the way down. You don't have to go super slow, but don't let momentum just drop you to the floor. Or not the floor, but just drop you down. Instead, control it with your muscles so you can build more muscle, because that's the goal of a pull-up, you guys. And another way you can do pull-ups, which I really like, is the neutral grip. However, my pull-up bar doesn't have that option. I normally do it at a gym. Basically, all it would be is your hands would be this way, and you'd be pulling up like this. But that's another great way to do the pull-up. However, once you can do at least 8 to 10 good pull-ups in a row, you can start adding on external weight. You can do this by putting on a weight vest, which is going to make it more challenging for you to do, which is going to help you build more muscle and more strength. Or if you don't have a weight vest, you can always put on a backpack, fill it up with books, and do it this way. However, you can make the pull-up harder without putting on any external weight. What you could do is slow down the tempo. So you're coming up, and then you're lowering down really slow, which is going to make it even more challenging. Or you could even do isometric holds, where you pull yourself up, chin above the bar, and hold for 5 to 10 seconds. But just like the push-up, I want you to make sure you're progressing with the pull-up. Don't do the same thing over and over again. You want to make sure you're testing yourself, pushing your limits so you can get stronger. But now let's move on to exercise number 3. So the next exercise we're going to talk about, number 3, is the pistol squat. This is the king of all bodyweight leg exercises, in my opinion at least. There's some other really good leg exercises with just your body weight, but this is my favorite. So I'll show you what the pistol squat looks like real quick if you don't know what it looks like. Even though I kind of already showed you in the beginning of the video. But what you want to do is balance on one leg. You would start with your left leg or right leg, doesn't really matter. And then you would basically just squat down on one leg. You go all the way down and then back up. And that is very challenging to do. It's even probably more difficult than a pull-up for a lot of people. So I'm going to show you some progressions to get you to this level right here. But if you are a complete beginner, start with this. Just start with a reverse lunge. So you're basically having both feet together and you're going to step your right leg back, bend your left knee, slightly tap your other knee on the ground, and then come back up. And you're coming back up with your left leg. So you're coming down and then you're going to drive through your left foot into the ground, explode up, and then you're going to keep repeating that. This is a good way to progress into the pistol squat as a complete beginner. If you have bad balance, you can even hold on to something while doing this to help assist you. And then after you can do the reverse lunge pretty easy, what you want to do is find a couch, a chair, something that's elevated off the ground, and you are going to plant your left foot into the ground, balance, lift your right leg up, and what you're going to do is slowly sit yourself onto the surface, whether it's a box or a couch, and then you're going to drive back up on one leg. And the higher the surface, the easier it's going to be. And what I don't want you to do is just sit onto the box or the chair. I want you to slowly use your leg muscles to control yourself down. And you can also do this. Let's say you lower down, but coming back up is too difficult. You can also lower down and then come back up off both feet. And you can just practice lowering down. So you would do that on your left foot for 5 to 8 reps or however many reps you want to do. And then you would switch legs and do the same thing. And then once you get really good at lowering down onto a box, you can try doing assisted full pistol squats, where you are going to do a full pistol squat, but you can hold on to something to help assist you. It would look like this. Probably move this to the side a little bit, but I'm lowering down and then I'm helping myself back up. That is what I'm talking about. And then once you can do this for around 5 reps, you should be able to let go of that and be able to do a full pistol squat, which is definitely going to help you build stronger legs. And the reason I really like pistol squats that I haven't even said yet is because it really helps you fix imbalances, because a lot of us has one leg stronger than the other. And if you're only doing double leg movements where you're squatting down, up and down, it's going to help you build muscle, but it's not going to fix the imbalances. But with pistol squats, you'll notice that one of your legs is probably not as strong as the other leg. But if you practice, stay consistent, you can get both legs pretty much evenly strength, which is going to help you out a lot and help you build awesome legs. The last exercise, we are going to train our core muscles, and it's a hanging leg raise. This is what it looks like. However, it's pretty challenging, so I'm going to show you some beginner options to help you level up to doing your first hanging leg raise, which is going to help you shred up your abs and build insane core strength. So if you can't do a hanging leg raise yet, you can start off with this. Driving your knees into your chest and then back out. Just like this. And once that gets too easy, you can do normal leg raises, but really control it on the way down, because anyone can just drop their feet to the floor. What you want to do is lower down nice and controlled and squeeze your core. And then the next progression is doing knee raises while hanging. So your knees and feet are going to be together. You're going to drive your knees up and then back down. Drive your knees up and then back down. And then once you can do that for 8 to 10 reps, you can bring your knees up and then straighten your legs and then come back down. So bring your knees up, and then straighten your legs and come back down. And then once you can do that, you should be able to do your first hanging leg raise. But that right there is the 4th and final exercise I wanted to show you guys today. But I hope this video helped you guys out. I just wanted to show you 4 of my favorite exercises with just your own body weight that you can do pretty much anywhere. You just need a pull-up bar for some of the exercises. But I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But peace out, you guys. Have a good one.